This video is brought to you by hoodbeast.com. Design your own custom hoodies. hoodbeast.com. We are beast.
Yo, what up guys, it's me exactly back on that grind to bring you guys recaps of everything that happened in the NBA from the previous day, but let's just get into it. I think I might actually start making bets now that Gordon Hayward will come back at some point this season. I know the break was supposed to be extremely clean in his tibia or whatever it was, so I'm sure that helps in the recovery process, but he's just recovering so fast at this point. He had already taken off the walking boot weeks ahead of schedule. That was a good sign. But even though he didn't have the actual boot on, he still had like an ankle brace thing. So he wasn't able just to flat out naturally walk. Well, that's not the case anymore. As the GM of the Boston Celtics, Danny Ainge released this picture yesterday, and in this picture, you can tell that Gordon Hayward's ankle is completely bare. It's only been 3 months. Well, actually less than 3 months if you're keeping count. I believe the injury happened back on October 18th and it's only January 10th, so 8 days under 3 months. I don't think we expected him to get the boot off itself until the 3-month mark, let alone to be able to walk with no brace, no boot, nothing. And the NBA still has a good 3 months until the playoffs start. He still do gotta go through the rehab, get back into game shape, get his mind right, and by no means do you want to rush him back from this injury, but I'm just saying there is time for him to suit up and play for the Boston Celtics later down in the year and still not be considered rushing him back. For those of you guys who haven't been too aware with what's been going on, NBA coaches aren't happy with ESPN. See, whenever there's a story that comes out about LeVar Ball, ESPN is typically the one putting the mic in his face to capture the story. There's a difference between reporting upon a story like, let's say, Bleacher Report might do sometime, and to be the one to create or give birth to the story like ESPN did when they let LeVar Ball come out and bash Luke Walton, like when he said the players don't respect him and don't want to play for him anymore. And to these other NBA coaches out here, that is crossing the line. It started 2 days ago when Mavs head coach Rick Carlisle said that it is a disgrace for ESPN to publish that article on their site.
Printing an article where the father of an NBA player has an opinion that is printed as anything like legitimate erodes trust. It erodes the trust that we've built with ESPN, and our coaches are upset because Luke Walton does not deserve that. You know, 2 years ago, he took a veteran team and led them to 24 wins in a row, which is an amazing accomplishment. And off of that, you know, he earned the Laker job. And to have to deal with these kinds of ignorant distractions, you know, is deplorable.
Which I do gotta say that it is ironic that that article was also published on ESPN. They posted a story about someone bashing them for a story they posted. It's just the irony of all of this is unreal. I mean, props to them kinda for actually posting this. They could have just tried to sweep this story under the rug and maybe save face a little bit, but they posted it. At the same time though, they're still making bank off articles like this and getting more publicity. Not that they really need it in the first place, but moving on. I also got a statement from the NBA Coaches Association saying that the article attacked Coach Luke Walton on the basis of one person's unsustained opinion. The story failed to provide quotes or perspectives from any players or the Lakers management, either named or unnamed, verifying the claims made in the story. It doesn't stop there though. Yesterday, head coach of the Pistons, Stan Van Gundy, came out and said that he will be boycotting ESPN. I thought it was a cheap shot, and I thought ESPN showed total disrespect. I don't have a problem with LeVar Ball. He's a grown man. He can voice whatever opinion he wants. I got a problem with ESPN deciding that's a story. I'm not meeting with their announcing crew before the game. I'm not going to the in-game interview. I'm not participating in a thing. And Luke Walton himself said that numerous coaches from around the league have reached out to him in support since this incident.
Luke, other NBA coaches reached out to you today to kind of in regards to this thing with LeVar, and if so, what have you heard?
Yeah, I've heard from a few of them. I mean, they're all on the same idea of, you know, it's our job as coaches to coach our teams and not be concerned with parents and you know, what other people outside of the organization think, and a lot of them have shown their support as far as they know what it's like coaching young teams and how, from what they see, how hard our group plays. And they really, just like I do, they really like our young team.
Here's the problem with stories like this coming out on ESPN. They lack credibility. LeVar Ball, even though I'm sure he is one of the most clickable names that ESPN has, he brings in a lot of revenue for ESPN. Just because he is a big name for you guys and brings in a lot of revenue doesn't mean what he says has any credibility, especially when it comes to stuff that's going on inside the NBA. Unless Lonzo Ball himself is telling LeVar Ball what the players are saying and thinking inside the locker room about Luke Walton, and LeVar Ball has no right to say the things that he said about Luke Walton when he said that the players don't respect him and don't want to play for him anymore. If he thinks that Luke Walton's just not a good coach for some reason, that's fine, but you can't make accusations like that with no real evidence to back it up. So ESPN giving him that interview and then publishing what he said as if it's a fact or it came from an actual NBA insider is wrong. That's like them coming up to you or me asking for our opinion on the NBA, something that we have no clue about, and then publishing it on their site like it's an accurate source of info. For example, if I or anyone else were to publish a video on YouTube titled "Cleveland Cavaliers players don't like LeBron James anymore and don't want him on the team," and in that video an opinion is given, accusations are made, but have no real evidence to back them up. Whoever makes that video say Cavs players don't like LeBron James because they don't high five him when he comes out the game and his breath smells like hot honey nut Cheerios. Then ESPN takes that video, makes an article on it saying that the Cavs players really don't want LeBron James on their team, and for proof or evidence they use whatever nonsense whoever made that video was talking about, and that person themselves has no clue what's going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's fake news. At the end of the day, that's what it was. Fake news that was used to bash an NBA coach, and that's what has other NBA coaches really upset. Speaking of upset though, tempers were flaring in this Raptors vs Heat game. Serge Ibaka and the black belted James Johnson got into it, and who says that no punches are going to be thrown in an NBA game? There were a couple thrown last night, and unlike most of the time when the punches might catch nothing but air, both these guys connected on their swings. James Johnson swung first and Ibaka followed up right after, and after they both realized they had just punched each other in the face, they suddenly calmed down, it seemed, but were still ejected. It's kind of funny though, because I think after they hit each other, they were good. Well, Ibaka seemed cool afterwards. JJ was still a bit heated, and the Heat won this game on a game-winning drive by Wayne Ellington with less than a second to go. 90-89 the final score, so the Heat are now right up there in the standings in the East where we all thought they would be to start this season. Bam Adebayo had the best game of his career so far with 16 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 blocks, but things didn't stop on the court just because the final buzzer sounded. After the game, DeMar DeRozan and Goran Dragic got into it a little and had to be separated. So things are starting to spice up between these two teams, and the next time they play, you can bet there will be some extra tension in that game. Low-key, it's looking like Andre Roberson might be the real MVP for the OKC Thunder, because they really can't defend nobody without him, and the depth of OKC is also a huge problem too. With Roberson out, they've been starting the rookie Terrence Ferguson, and I don't want to say anything bad about him because he is a rookie, but his stat line in 30 minutes was 2 rebounds. That's it. The points he scored were about the same as the points Roberson scores with 0, but he wasn't playing Roberson defense. And the Blazers, without Damian Lillard, get the 117-106 win thanks to 27 points and 7 assists from CJ McCollum. I said in yesterday's video that Julius Randle isn't the type of player that you can build a team around, and he's not, but he can be a very important piece to a really good team in the future. He showed that once again yesterday in the Lakers' 99-86 win over the Kings, their second win on a row. Randle with 22 points, 14 rebounds, and 6 assists, a versatile passing big man. He kind of reminds me of another Lamar Odom. Lonzo Ball also did everything besides score well with 5 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, and 5 steals. When the Magic started rebuilding, the Dallas Mavericks had just won an NBA championship. The Mavericks are now rebuilding and are already better than the Magic, who are still can we even call it rebuilding? Maybe the proper term is loitering. They are loitering at the bottom of the NBA. This is unbelievable. Trade deadline is a few weeks away though, and I wonder which young Magic player will make it out alive this time. 114-99 the final score. DSJ and Dirk each scored 20 for Dallas. There is all the action from last night though. You guys go vote for the player of the day by clicking this little card thing right here. Just remember though, the only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, you guys selected DeMar DeRozan and his 35 points and 6 assists as your player of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure to smack that like button as well as subscribe to the channel. Join the quest to 200K, hashtag a million in a year. Let's get it. And to stay up to date with everything that goes on in the NBA on a daily basis. But until tomorrow, keep getting the bucks, Team ITC, and I'm out of here. Peace.